Hello everybody, welcome to this premiere. We are in X-Plane 12, flying the FlyJsim Q400 as Air New Zealand. We are doing a Air New Zealand ops. They do fly the Q400 smaller variant, not the larger one, but we're going to fly the larger one today because FlyJsim has a livery for it. So we're flying from Nelson, New Zealand, down south to Christchurch, New Zealand, and we'll hop in the flight deck here and get everything ready. So we're on the flight deck now, and we got all our systems here ready to go. Here is our facts. Here's our facts for our aircraft. We got some passengers here and there. Not a lot of passengers. Got 30 passengers, 1,000 pounds of cargo, 4,300 pounds of fuel, so 4,300. So aircraft's loaded and everything's ready to go. We'll do our checklist here. I'll show you actually the flight plan first. Everything here looks good on the flight plan, but I'll go into the format mode and I'll show you. So yeah, we depart out, then turn to the left and make our way down, and then ILS for runway 2 for arrival, which is also the same runway we are departing on too. All our speeds here, cruising at 16,000 feet over there, and then we'll be getting our top of descent, everything set. Passenger signs are on. We will confirm that by looking up top here. Yep, they're all on. Check that. Emergency lights armed. Check that. Anti-skid on. Fuel transfers checked. Checked. Power levers are at disk. Yep. Fuel cutoff is at fuel cutoff. Takeoff data has been reviewed. We're going to be doing a flaps. Probably a flaps 5. Yeah, flaps 5 for departure today. On out. Reviewed. Now the good thing is we don't need to get pushback, so we're going to turn our APU on here and get started. So up top here, we'll zoom in a little bit so we can see more. We'll hit the power switch and we'll hit start. Now the APU will start up slowly. You can probably hear it right now. Click all those on. This can go off. And exterior power off. APU gen is now on. We can now go back down to our EFB and disconnect the GPU. There you go. So battery and starters are set. Exterior power off, APU running. Doors and lights. We should have a doors page down here. Yep, all doors closed. And if we look up here, it's just basic switches that we need to turn off. APU bleed off. Interesting. APU bleed off. Over to red beacon. And engines are clear for start. So we'll start up engine 1 first. Over to 1. 1, 2, 3, and start. Watch everything rise. And go into the feather mode. Okay, now we'll start up engine 2. So we'll go up top. Flip that to 2, 1, 2, 3, and start. Watch the signs here. Starting up. Let's go take a look at engine number 2. Okay, we're back in the flight deck here. And we're going to do our last minute checks to make sure everything's running. So we'll keep the engines in start feather mode. Up top switch has been switched to off. And now we'll take a look here. Exterior power / APU can now go off. So we'll turn the gen off. And the APU off. Main bus tie off. Bleed air 1 and 2 on. Battery temps good. Condition levers, now we go max with them. All the way forwards. Maxed out. Standby and hydraulic press and P2 control. On. Confirmed. Hydraulic press quantity looks good. Hydraulic 3 ISO valve open. Flight taxi, which is our spoilers, can go to taxi mode. Radar nav comms all set. Speed, everything's set. After start checklist complete. Now we'll go to our taxi. Taxi light on. Altimeters set. Flight instruments checked. Let's do our quick flight test or flight instrument test. Left aileron, right aileron, elevator down, elevator up, and we got rudder, all controls free, ready to go. We will now disengage the parking brake. And taxi to the runway. Okay, we are pulling up to the hold short line here, so we'll get ready for takeoff. I have changed our flaps to actually flaps 15 for this takeoff, or flaps 10, sorry, because it is a shorter runway. So our speeds here will change, and now we will re-engage the parking brake, put these to flight idle. Okay, throttles are at flight idle now. We can go to our checklist again. All checked there. We're just gonna flip the seatbelt sign. Anti-light over to white. All those lights on. Tail logo we don't need on. Flight controls are checked and free. Looks good. Flight taxi, this is going to go into flight mode now. And landing and taxi lights. Landing lights on, taxi light off. Up top looks good. And now we'll continue with our after takeoff checklist. Release the parking brake, and we'll start going here. Enjoy the takeoff. Takeoff power set. V1. Rotate. Short runway. But we're out. Positive rate. Gear up. Turn to the left here. Okay, we're on course now. We'll turn back. And now we'll look at our autopilot settings. We'll go AP and autopilot engaged. We'll hit the nav button. And we will also hit the vertical speed and bring this down to 2000. So all our main controls are now engaged. Gear up, autopilot engage, nav engage, LNav engage, and VS is engaged too. We can go flaps up a little bit. And we'll put this into 900. Less RPMs happening. Speed's looking good. We went flaps 5. We'll go flaps up now. And we'll continue our climb out here up to 16,000 feet. We'll do a quick checklist. Landing gear is up, confirmed. Flaps are up, confirmed. Climb power has been set. Bleed air is on. Standard hydraulic pressure and PTU goes to norm. And we're climbing out of Nelson, New Zealand. Now the airport, I think, was just somewhere over there. Somewhere in the back. There's the airport. That's where he just took off of. That quick, this plane climbs. It's pretty crazy. Aux pumps off. Auto feather off. Engine temps, everything is looking good. Ice protection's good. Passenger signs still on until we're above 10,000. After takeoff checklist complete, we'll do our cruise checklist once we are at cruise. Okay, we are now over 10,000 feet. Landing lights can come off. The wing light there can come off. Everything else is good. No turbulence, smooth flight. We can go seatbelt sign off, and we'll confirm that by just zooming in a little bit, and seatbelt sign is off. Right now we're climbing up to 16,000 feet, which we're almost there. It's a pretty fast climb out. Once we're at our cruise altitude, then we will do our checks there, and then that'll be about it until top of descent. Okay, so if we take a look here, we are at our cruise altitude now. 16,000 feet. We can look at our FMC here, actually. Go next page right here. Go to VNav, and I think we want to target for 1,000. Target for 1,000 feet per minute. Enter. VNav is in 11 minutes, it looks like. So in about 11 minutes, we will start our top of descent down to probably about 2,000-3,000 feet for the approach into Christchurch. So right now, everything's looking okay. Gonna maintain our speed. We're cruising at 16,000 feet, seatbelt sign off, calm flight, no turbulence as of right now. And what we can do is, we won't need to arm VNav or anything just yet. We will start our top descent here very shortly, because if we zoom this out a little bit, top descent's right there. So we'll make sure we change our altitude and everything before that time comes. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the cruise until our top of descent. Okay, we are back in the flight deck here, about to start our top of descent. So we're going to bring our altitude down to 2,000, down to 3,000 actually. And then we'll hit, actually we don't need to do that. This looks good. So now we're going to go find the VNav button. Okay, so we have engaged VNav and put alt select VNav. We look down here, top of descent alert. So we can just hit clear. There we go, back to this. And we should descend via the VNav all the way down to our altitude we chose, which is 3,000 feet. So I hit alt select VNav, put it in the system here, and then your VNav will work when we hit top of descent. We'll be starting our arrival procedure here soon, as we are starting our descent down to 2,000 feet for the interception of the glide slope and localizer. But for now, we'll continue our descent down to our given altitude and then do some checks around 12,000 feet before we go below 10,000. Cabin alt controls set. And ice protection is all good. Approach checklist, which we'll do before the approach, because we don't have a first officer doing the checklist, so we have to look back and forth constantly. Now we're below 10,000 feet. Seatbelt sign on. Landing lights on. Wing light on. Altimeter is set. Lights are all set. We're going to do a flaps 35 approach. And our landing speed looks like 123, 108 touchdown, basically. Tank aux pumps 1 and 2 on. Standby hydraulic press and P2 control on. Hydraulic press quantity. Looks good. Passenger signs, we'll just flip it again, so they know. Caution and warning lights. Click it just to make sure. No warnings. We're looking good. And cabin is secure. Landing checklist we'll do when we are on our approach. We'll go speed, pull back a little bit. Here is our runway or airport. And we'll go flaps 5. Gee, we'll actually go on to our heading button here. And we'll actually go off of the heading indicator. Just for now. So we can have a perfect left turn onto the localizer. Turn. And we'll throw gear down once we're on final. Hey, gear down. Gear coming down. Flaps 10. We'll get back in line here on the localizer and everything, and then we will continue our approach and descent speeds here. Autopilot disengage. I have control. My aircraft. I'm going to disengage autopilot now. We're going to go another notch of flaps. Checked, 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 maxed. Checked and checked. Perfect. And then our after landing checklist is next. Okay, we're on the glide slope. All ready for landing. The winds are calm, which is nice. Some cars down there. Versus green decel. That was a nice landing right there, guys. Very nice landing. 360 reverser stowed manual braking. And just make this exit. Okay, guys. Welcome to Christchurch, New Zealand. One thing about this aircraft, not like a 767 or the big aircrafts that you just cut the throttles when you hear 10 and then it glides down. In the Dash 8 Q400, you have to keep power and maintain your approach speed until the main gear touches down. Once the main landing gear touches down, then you idle throttle. It's pretty interesting with this airplane, but holy, we just made that really nice, very nice landing. Okay, flaps can go up. Flaps up. Landing lights off. Taxi light on. Take a look up top here. This can go to beacon red. That can go off. And APU, we can start. There we go. APU starting up. Everything looks good there. And now we will taxi to the terminal. Okay, after landing checklist, control lock on. We don't need the control lock no more because we're taxiing. Doesn't matter for that, doesn't matter for that, that's good. Aux pumps off. I'll do our after landing checklist once we are actually parked on this line here. We won't call the jet bridge because they don't show up for this aircraft, unfortunately, like they do in real life. Sometimes I've seen a jet bridge for these airplanes, but that's all right. Parking brake set. We'll continue our checklist here. Aux pumps, we just turned those off. Yaw dampers, checked. Spoiler is on tax, we just flipped that. That's on red. Checked and checked. Pitot heats off. Window heat off. Ice protection switches off. Bus tie will go to tie. APU, if applicable, will go up top again. And we're going to go on the APU now. And bleed air in 1 and 2 is set. Perfect. After landing checklist complete. Shutdown, taxi light off. Emergency brake is on. This can go back to normal. Power levers are on disc. Yep. And these can go down to start feather for a cool off. We keep them on start and feather until the very end of the checklist. Passenger signs can go off. Nose wheel steering off. You can keep that on as required. Bleed 1 and 2 off. We're on APU. Emergency lights off. And condition levers now can go to the cutoff position. Shutdown checklist complete. We will now tune our power to connect the GPU. And we can turn off. The APU system can now be turned off as we're on exterior power. That's X-Plane being glitchy for you. Well, not glitchy, being crazy. Recirc fan can go off. We don't need to worry about that. It's fine for there. And then we'll go start unloading. I'll show you. This is such a very much, like, very, very graphic made aircraft. Very nice. Alright, so the passengers and everyone will start unloading the aircraft. We'll start getting off the aircraft and all these lights can go off. But that's the flight. All passengers and cargo are being unloaded off the aircraft. Aircraft is parked and shut down basically at the gate. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this premiere video of the flight. I will be getting back into posting. You probably have seen I've been doing a lot of FlyJsim live streams, and I'll try and keep up with that too. I'll try and find a schedule that works good, and we'll get that sorted too. For videos, here and there, depending on what the video is, we'll see. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this premiere flight of Air New Zealand FlyJsim Q400 from Nelson, New Zealand down to Christchurch, New Zealand. Flight time was about 30-40 minutes. Very smooth, calm flight. Very calm flight. Very nice. Very nice landing. That was a very nice landing, I'll have to say. But that will be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If so, like, share, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss a new video or live stream. Otherwise, that is the flight. And like always, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.